Hi there. If you want to go ahead and get started, it's just one more minute. We're starting to paint our cones. So you're going to take that white paint and the black handled brush and you're going to paint your cone white. I know it's white and it'll be hard to see, but it makes the paint stick a little bit easier and nicer. It looks nicer when it's all painted. And the styrofoam makes it dry really, really fast too. So, and when you're doing it, don't paint the top of your cone. Just paint the sides, and you don't have to paint the bottom either. So you guys can go ahead and start doing that, okay? All right, how we doing, guys? Are we just about there? All right. Okay, I'm done. All right, when you get your white painted and you're done with it, we're done with that, the white paint, so you can go ahead and rinse off your brush. And it should dry pretty quickly. Mine's already starting to dry where I started at, so should take just a couple minutes to dry. Hi guys. What you're gonna start with is your white paint and your black handled paintbrush, and you're gonna paint your entire cone except for the top white. Hi guys. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna paint your entire cone white with the black handled paintbrush, but don't paint the top, okay? And you don't need to paint the bottom either. So just the sides. one of the reasons we're doing a lighthouse, I'll share some facts here, because we need to let our paint dry and, you know, all that stuff. So Sunday was actually National Lighthouse Day. They have holidays for everything. So we decided to make lighthouses for our VKC this month, just to kind of celebrate it. So there are, where did I see it? There are over 700 lighthouses in use right now in the United States. And the state that has the most lighthouses, I think you'd be really surprised. It's not a state that's on the East Coast, or it's not even by a coast. It's actually Michigan, because it's surrounded by a couple of the Great Lakes. So it has 124 lighthouses in Michigan. So the oldest lighthouse was built in New Jersey, and it's actually still standing right now, and it's still in operation. So it was built in 1764, so it is a really old lighthouse. And usually lighthouses look like this. They're kind of cone shaped, but there's actually a triangle shaped lighthouse in Charleston, South Carolina. The only one ever built. They probably built it and said that was way too much trouble. Let's see. What we need to talk about next, and it's a little fact that I have here. While this is drying, you need to decide how many stripes you want your lighthouse to have. You want to have 2 stripes? You want to have 3 stripes? The lighthouse that I made for like the example, I made 2 stripes. But you could have 3 stripes, 2 stripes, 1 stripe. You could have like 1 big stripe in the middle, however you want it to be. But those stripes are actually called day marks. And those were ways that sailors could distinguish where they were without having to look at maps. They could say, oh, that lighthouse has diamonds on its stripes, or that one has spiral stripes, or it has, it had stripe markings instead of just bands. And they could tell where they were without looking at their map, what lighthouse that was, and they knew exactly where they were. So, let me see how we're doing here. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever. It is really humid in the library apparently today, and paint hates me at the library. Oh my gosh, I cannot succeed with paint at this place. It's gonna dry.
We started ours early and used a hair dryer.
Yes, I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I used paint, we painted rocks, and I just barreled through because it was never gonna dry. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. Is everybody's drying? I still see yours looks a little wet. Your guys' is dry. How about you, Kennedy? Is yours dry? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, mine's pretty dry.
Pretty dry? Mine's working on it. I'm gonna shake it around a little bit. So the next thing that you guys are gonna do is you're gonna use your little flat paintbrush here, and you're gonna use, I have peach, because the other one I made was blue, so I wanted a peach one to go with it. So you can take whatever color you chose, and just try your best to keep a nice straight line around your cone. I used, when I made my first one, I used a rubber band. One of the tricks they said was to use a rubber band, but when I took the rubber band off, it took some of the paint off, which it wasn't a pain because I had to go back and touch it up, but I see you're using a marker. That's a really good idea. A marker, a pen, a pencil. You could even use the other end of your paintbrush just to kind of give yourself a little, a guide or whatever. But you just want to try and keep a nice straight line. It's just going to be your guide to go by. And yeah, Kennedy, if you're using a rubber band, you're going to want to take it off before it 100% dries, because it will take your paint off with it when you do it, okay?
Like get my line and then take it off?
Yeah. You know what you could do? You could take and use a pencil and trace around where you have your rubber band and then move it up for your other one. And then that way you would have your lines and you wouldn't have to worry about it taking off your paint. Hello, owner. What is your name?
Oh, my name's Ann.
Okay. So, what we're doing right now, we've painted our cones white, except for the top and the bottom, just the sides. And now we are gonna start painting our stripes onto our cones here.
Okay. I gotta paint mine white.
How's everybody doing? You having great luck? This is the hardest part because, trying to keep it straight and not gloppy. This is the hardest part, I think. My white is not 100% dry. It's going to give me issues. I feel it. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Your stripe that you're making right there is a little bit bigger, so if you wanted to use the bigger paintbrush, you could. I used the smaller one up here just because it was a smaller area for me. So whichever way you want to do it. If you want to use the smaller one, then use the smaller one. If you want to use the bigger one, then use the bigger one. It's completely 100% up to you guys. I'm using the smaller one just because it gives me a little bit more, I can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. But if you want to use the big one, then you can use the big one. Has everybody had a good summer so far? Yes, I see some yeses. Is anybody ready to go back to school? Oh, a thumbs up. I thought I was going to get some grums and some thumbs down. Depending on the day, if I ask my kids if they want to go back to school, I hear yeses and I hear no's, so. I don't know what's going on with this peach paint. And I don't know if your blue paint, if you have the blue, is the same way, but it is exorbitantly runny and not really covering that well. And I apologize for that because I don't know what's the problem. At least we're not going to get covered. All right. All right, I think I am just about back with my stripes, potentially. Okay, not too bad, not too shabby. All right, how's everybody's stripes going? Nice, I like it. Looks amazing. When you're happy with the way your stripes look, you can go ahead and rinse out your brush. We're going to use it again in just a minute, but we'll give this a chance to dry for a couple of minutes while we just give it a chance to dry so we're not grabbing at it and potentially touching more wet paint. So let's see if I can give you a couple more fun facts about lighthouses, because, you know, kill some time while our paint dries a little bit and you finish painting your stripes. So the most expensive, as I throw my paintbrush, expensive lighthouse that has ever been built was built in California. Big surprise, California. It took 10 years to build, and it cost, well, and this was in 1882 to 1892, so it was a while ago. So keep in mind that was really expensive back then. It was $715,000. So to build one now, I think that would be probably like your base price. That would be, you know. Did you know that the Statue of Liberty is actually considered a lighthouse? And it was actually the first lighthouse to use electricity. The first, or the source of the light, so the light, this right here, guys, is going to be our little light. It's going to sit up here on top. And you have that little LED light, but it's actually called the optic. This is the optic, and it's either electric or a lot of times they're fueled by oil. And when they were first built, they were fires. They would have fires that did this. Let's see, as I have paint on my fingers all over. Good gracious. And did you know that this was becoming a lighthouse keeper was one of the very first jobs that women could do for the government? So you guys could be, you ladies could be lighthouse keepers because, you know. And a lot of times though, they unofficially became the keepers because their husband would die or he would be injured and wouldn't be able to take care of it. So they unofficially would take care of the lighthouses, but they officially, the government recognized that it was like one of the very first jobs for women. All right, so it's gonna take a while for our peach or blue to dry. So I want us to go ahead and start on our windows and our doors. So you're gonna use that smaller paintbrush. Kennedy, you're doing fine. You're fine. You have just a teensy bit left to go. You're good. I just want to give everybody a chance to start on their windows, because this orange, the peach, and the blue is going to take a second. So that is such a smart idea to draw it out. You can freehand your little squares. You could just draw them with a black marker if you want to, or we do have the paint. So you just need to decide, like, and usually what happens, guys, when you're doing your windows, usually there's a window here and a window here, which I didn't leave myself very much room up here. So I'm just probably gonna have one set of windows here, and it's usually just one window. It's not like you have like the whole way around windows. It's usually just one window right there in your little box. So you're gonna just make, try and find a dry spot. Oh, that's drier. Okay, we'll go over here. Ooh, that's not dry. Oh my word. It is not painting unless you wear it, right? All right, so my white is not 100% dry. It's all right. All right. This is not good. I like how your stripes have turned out. They look really awesome. I love it. When you do your squares, you don't want to have a giant square, and be really careful because I don't know if anybody else is running into it, but my white is still kind of wet. So it's trying to pull up that white underneath and trying to make me have a gray window instead of a black window. So not that a gray window would be bad, just not what I want. So I went ahead and did this. I just have one rectangle window. I'm gonna even it out here because it's not straight and that drives me bananas. I can't. There we go. I have my rectangle window there. So I'm gonna just let that sit for a second. And then we have to make a door. So you can have a curved door, or you can make yourself a rectangle, square door, whatever you want. What you're gonna do though is everything's gonna be in a line, because you don't want your door to be on an opposite side. You want your door to be on the exact same side as as your window. I swear this is gonna dry eventually, and it'll be great, but it's gonna take it a while to dry. But once you get that window done, then the next thing you want to do is just decide what kind of a door you want, and like I said, what shape you want. You can even use like the lid from your top if you want to create that the curve for your door. If you want to do a curved door and you don't feel comfortable drawing it yourself, you could always take your lid and kind of just indent it into your styrofoam a little bit. And then that way it gives you a little help to be able to draw it. And you're going to use that, that black again to do that, okay? See, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my top of my black lid, and I'm just going to push it real gentle, not a ton, just enough that I'm able to see it right here. And that's going to give me the top of where I'm going to paint here. And the door is going to go clear down to the bottom. So we're just painting along. All right. I have a really wet spot down here, so I have a feeling my black door is going to turn gray. When I made this before, the styrofoam dried really quickly, but tonight it has proven me wrong, taking forever. That's okay. It'll dry eventually. How are your doors looking? Everybody getting windows? They looking good? Right. How's it looking, guys? Everybody doing good? Okay. So here is my door and my window. It's gonna take a long time for it to dry, but we're done with the black, so we can put that away if you want to. So, wonder if this would work. Probably not, because that paint is just ridiculous. If you have an inkling and you want to do it, you do not have to do it, but you can paint the rim of your cup. You don't have to. I left mine plain, and I think it looks nice with the black edge showing. You could always put a piece of ribbon or some string or something. You could wrap that around there too. You don't have to. It is no biggie. But it's going to take it a minute, several minutes, a long time for this to dry. It's going to probably take till tomorrow, but so you can paint that edge if you want to. Otherwise, you don't have to. It's a little extra. I don't know. It's already black. Otherwise, you could use your blue or your peach to do it if you feel like doing it. Otherwise, how's everybody's windows doing? Awesome? Can I see them? Oh, I love it. That is fantastic. Kennedy, can you flip yours around? Can I see it? Oh, that is awesome. I love it. I like your door. Nice. Hey, gentlemen, do you have yours? Can I see yours? I love it. That is awesome. Fantastic. All right, so the last thing we have to do, and I forgot to bring my glue up with me. You can use craft glue. You can use hot glue. I'm not 100% sure if a glue stick would work though, because styrofoam is it's fickle, and glue sticks are probably not going to work. But you could definitely use tacky glue, or you could use hot glue, and you're going to put it onto the bottom of your lid, and you're going to put it on here. You use hot glue, it'll glue immediately and it'll be done. You use the tacky glue, it's going to take it a while to glue. Everybody should have in their kit one of these. Which way do I go? We'll go this way. And it's a really cool, and mine won't turn on. Why won't you turn on? Why does it hate me? Maybe, okay. And it'll glow and light up, and you'll put it into your little, your little cup here, and then your lighthouse will glow, a little LED light.
How do you turn it off?
It is really tricky because I thought mine was broken. You're just gonna take it, and you're just gonna screw it together, and it should turn on. Yep. Yep. You just have to remember to turn it back off, or else it'll burn out, because it just has a little battery in it for the LED. But another thing, guys, it's gonna take a while for this black to dry, just because it's on there pretty thick. But when you have your black dry, you can take your white paint and your flat brush here, the blue handled one, and you can put a line through them. Or like our little friend here, he just did 4 little squares, so he didn't have to do the lines in between, which was a super smart idea. But once, Kennedy, you're gonna flip it upside down. Yep, that's how you wanna do it, yep. That way it gives it something stable to glue to, yep, perfect. But when your black dries, you're gonna wanna put a little line through your window, so you give it like little window panes. And you could even give it, several lines, or you can give it just, one, like a little T or whatever. But once you have that, you guys are done, and then you have your lighthouse, and you can set it, on your kitchen table. Mom can put it on a little, on the counter, whatever you want. And then you guys have your pretty awesome, beach lighthouse, and you made it all yourself. It looks awesome. I love them. Can I see all of your lighthouses? I would love to see them. Let's see them. Oh, that is awesome. I love it. So we had 2 blue, and everybody else did peach. I love it. Looks fantastic. All right, guys. Well, I am so happy that you joined me, and I am really proud of how awesome that your lighthouse has turned out. And I have a list of everybody's names, and I'm going to be drawing a little door prize winner, and I will give the winner a phone call tomorrow morning, okay? So I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Bye.